Here's more wrestling news for August 2nd, 2022, and we're kicking off this afternoon with the Street Profits, as once again, the wheels are turning for the popular tag team to split up. Many have spoken in the past about the potential Montez Ford has as a future singles star, and his singles performances, such as last September's clash with Roman Reigns, has only proved he's capable. During this week's Raw, Seth Rollins mocked the Street Profits for their failure to beat the Usos and flat out told them that they should just break up. Rollins would go on to defeat Ford in a close singles match, once again proving his potential as a singles competitor. WWE has been subtly hinting at the Profits splitting up, and after 6 years and Reigns as Raw, Smackdown, and NXT Tag Team Champions, there's very little more for Ford and Dawkins to do together. The future looks bright for Ford, but things don't seem as certain for Angelo Dawkins, and we can only hope that the likely singles success for Ford doesn't come at his expense. Rollins defeated Ford in a singles match on Raw, but that's not all that was on his mind this week. In addition to taking digs at the Street Profits, the former Universal Champion also took aim at Riddle and Randy Orton, and Cody Rhodes was also mentioned during his segment with Ford and Dawkins. And let's not forget, Rollins flat out made it clear that he has his sights on Roman Reigns and the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. Many feuds were teased for Rollins in just one segment, and the fact that all of these feuds would make sense for the Architect shows why Rollins is one of the best, most versatile characters in all of wrestling today. At WrestleMania 38, Rick Boogs suffered an injury during his and Shinsuke Nakamura's tag match with the Usos, which has kept him out of action ever since. At the time, it was confirmed that Boogs had suffered a torn quadriceps injury, but his return to the ring may be sooner than you'd think. On Twitter, Boogs shared a clip of himself back in his natural habitat, hitting the gym with the weights, and appears to be in phenomenal shape. Boogs got injured when he tried to execute a fireman's carry and tried to lift both Jimmy and Jey Uso, but lost his footing during the move. A torn quadriceps usually takes around 6 months to fully heal, but now, just 4 months after the injury happened, fans may not have to wait much longer to see Rick Boogs back in the ring. Last Sunday, Ric Flair competed in his last ever match, teaming with Andrade El Idolo to get the win over Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett. Flair's final match came at the ripe age of 63, and those involved weren't taking any chances. The match saw Flair take some scary bumps and even get busted open during the bout, and PW Insider reports that 2 doctors were waiting to check up on the Nature Boy as soon as he got to the back. Flair was said to be dead tired after the outing, but also great, and after being checked out, a famished Flair said he wanted to get something to eat. The report adds that Flair did indeed go out for the night after his match, something that the Nature Boy was infamous for during his heyday decades earlier. The decision to wrestle one last time was risky, but it seems to have paid off for Flair, who was able to end his legendary career on his own terms last weekend. Now WWE's decade-long deal with Saudi Arabia is still going on, despite the recent change in company leadership, which hasn't stopped WWE from partnering with the Middle Eastern Kingdom. According to PW Insider, a number of WWE superstars will be heading to Saudi Arabia next week, all as part of the Gamers Season Gamers 8 event. AJ Styles is one of those names, which makes sense as he's an avid gamer, and Rey Mysterio will also be making the trip, with both men expected to miss out on some WWE events due to the trip. Gamers Season has been praised as the biggest event for electronic sports and games in the world, according to Zaya, a Middle East-ran news outlet, and the event will run from July 18th to September 8th in Riyadh. With WWE 2K22 coming out just 5 months ago, it's doubtful we'll hear anything about the next installment in the series, but fans in Riyadh will have an extra special time with Styles and Mysterio in attendance. Back to the US, as this Friday's Smackdown will see the first episode of the Blue Brand since an explosive SummerSlam, and there's a lot of interest in South Carolina. WrestleTix has learned that out of the available 6,067 seats configured for the show at the Bon Secours Wellness Arena in Greenville, South Carolina, that 5,038 have been distributed. Roman Reigns and the Usos have been advertised for the show, which will have no doubt helped move seats, and we'll have to see what unfolds on the first Smackdown on the road to Clash at the Castle. When Johnny Gargano left WWE last December, it came after many had hoped he'd resign with the promotion, but that didn't happen. Since his release, many others have hoped that the former NXT champion would find his way to AEW, where several of his NXT alum are now working, but that hasn't happened either. Instead, Gargano has focused on his growing family and has kept his distance from the ring altogether, and as he told those at StarCast 5, he's happy to take a wait-and-see approach when deciding his next move. This time period of my life has given me a unique opportunity to sit back and survey the landscape of everything. If I would have made a decision immediately, who knows what would have happened. The fact that I told myself I was going to sit back, watch what happens, and make a decision based off that. I love things where both places are going. There are pros and cons, get it? Cons, wordplay. I love what both places are doing. Gargano reportedly left WWE on extremely good terms last December, and with Triple H now running things on the main roster, it seems very likely that the game would want him back. Ultimately, only Gargano will know when he feels it's right for him to return to the ring, but we'll have to wait and see when exactly that is for the former NXT superstar. We've got an update on the Jeff Hardy case now, as the controversial former world champion has now received his new court date. PW Insider has learned that Jeff's new pre-trial conference has been moved to August 17th after initially being planned for July 27th. Tony Khan has made it clear that this is Jeff's last chance in AEW and that he has been suspended without pay until he can prove his sobriety. Jeff has pled not guilty to the charges against him, including the DUI felony charge that could see him face up to 5 years in prison if convicted, and we'll keep following this case for further updates. And we're ending today with news from Renee Paquette, who left WWE after SummerSlam 2020 and, despite initial rumors, has yet to sign with AEW, the home of her husband, Jon Moxley. In her time away from wrestling, Paquette has been busy with her podcast The Sessions, but has now given an update on her stance with All Elite Wrestling. During StarCast 5, Paquette was asked about possibly joining AEW and said that she hasn't had any conversations with Tony Khan. Paquette added that while she was a commentator on Raw before her departure, that she doesn't love calling matches and would be much more content as a backstage interviewer. While she hasn't joined the company yet, Paquette isn't ready to rule out joining AEW and said that maybe she will join. With her years of experience in WWE, her experience working in the media beforehand, and her work since departing the sports entertainment juggernaut, Paquette would be a huge win for AEW, but don't expect her to be calling the in-ring action should she join. Well guys, that's our news for today. Please share your comments below. Also hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon to receive all notifications. And as always, thanks for watching.